Inside yacht rock essential artist Dave Mason's biggest hit, We Just Disagree. Details coming up. Hey everyone, I'm Michael Douglas. Welcome to this edition of Dr. Pundit, where we talk about music, not medicine. And on this edition, it's all in the lyrics once again, where we're talking about probably one of the best known yacht rock songs, truly a yacht rock essential, a track called We Just Disagree by Dave Mason. You know, there are some artists who released many songs throughout their career that clearly fit into the yacht rock template. And then there are a few who kind of accidentally dip their toes into that warm ocean water. Dave Mason, a British classic rocker, probably stands as one of the most unlikely yacht rock standard bearers, thanks to his 1977 smash, We Just Disagree. People hear this song on yacht rock stations or on adult contemporary stations, and they may or may not think, what is this song about? Who wrote it? And how did it go against the grain of what Mason usually released? Now, here is the story of one of the most heartbreaking yacht rock standards, We Just Disagree. Now, Dave Mason's track record is pretty stunning. On the surface, he's best known as an early member of the band Traffic, and a songwriter whose best tracks, Feelin' All Right and Only You and I Know, great songs, were recorded by others and turned into classics. But dig a little deeper and you'll find it as impressive as any music CV of that era. Dave Mason played on indelible tracks by the likes of Jimi Hendrix, the Rolling Stones, George Harrison, Paul McCartney, and many, many others. And top acts actually returned the favor with luminaries like Harrison, Graham Nash, Stevie Wonder playing on his solo stuff, and Mason even ended up in Fleetwood Mac for a cup of coffee in the 1990s. Now, as a solo act, he had a hard time gaining commercial traction in the 1970s, at least until record mogul, who else? Clive Davis signed him at Columbia, but the mercurial Davis left the label not long after, leaving Mason a bit adrift at the label, but still owing them a lot of material. Now, luckily, he found some help from a new member of his band. Mason's first album for Columbia, It's Like You Never Left in 1973, was an all-star affair, and when it failed to do much sales-wise, Mason decided to put together a regular backing band that could take material out on the road. And one of his new cohorts was a guitar player named Jim Kruger, nicknamed the Bruiser, who also offered some of his songwriting abilities. Now, when Mason was making his 1977 album, Let It Flow, Kruger came forward with a heartsick ballad for inclusion. We Just Disagree wasn't typical of what Mason usually delivered around that time, as he was more known for a kind of free-flowing rock approach than straightforward, hard-rocking stuff. But as he told an interviewer at the time, he didn't hesitate for a second when he heard Kruger's track. I did it because I thought it was a great song, an unusual chord arrangement behind it, and it stood up. It was a song that when he sang it to me was like, yeah, that's the song. Just him and a guitar, which is usually how I judge whether I'm going to do something. If it holds up like that, I'll put the rest of the icing on it. So if you've committed to watching this particular video, you just want to know what the meaning of We Just Disagree is. Yes, I get it. Mason and Kruger, who, as traveling musicians, had their fair share of heartbreak, gravitated to this tale of two ex-lovers undergoing a stilted reunion. The guy struggles to make sense of how they went from such intimacy to this distance. Don't seem the same, seems you've lost your feel for me. Kruger's lyrics cycle through this emotional spectrum as he naturally treats her with kindness, only remember all the bad stuff that has gone down between them. Have you got a place to stay? Why should I care when I'm just trying to get along? In the refrains, he decides it's best that they stay apart rather than trying to tiptoe through the old landmines. So let's leave it alone because we can't see eye to eye. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me, and we just disagree. Jim Kruger passed away in 1993 at only 43 years of age, meaning he didn't live quite long enough to witness the yacht rock sensation that gave most of his catalog a second life. And as for Dave Mason, of course, We Just Disagree, a top 20 hit, became his signature song in the afterlife as it was, despite it being somewhat uncharacteristic of most of his output. Now, the next time you hear this song, you'll know the story and some of the lyricism behind We Just Disagree by Dave Mason, a great yacht rock track. I'm Michael Douglas, and if you like what you see here on the channel, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe. And as the late, great Barry White always used to say, let the music play, and I'll see you on the next episode.